Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I believe that you have to have your own, you can't just have a single channel operation and call it a business.
Yep.
It's too vulnerable, it's too risky, and especially with Amazon constantly shutting down listings, shutting down accounts, you never know. So that's why you have to have your own website. To me, it's just the timing and the circumstances of launching. Timing, obviously, you don't want to do it all at the same time. There's too much to learn. So just do it in
Yep.
one at a time. And the circumstances are, I would rather have a sizable mailing list of my own before I launch on the website. Because at least you've got a base of operations. You can put out a weekly deal of the week or whatever, and then some people will come and buy, and then you can add advertising on top, and you can leverage that mailing list also to drive business to your Amazon listing. So that
Yeah,
way,
but and think about it though, the easiest way to establish that sizable mailing list is to have a decent Shopify build from day one. Even if you spend all of your paid traffic to Amazon, right? Even if you try to actually encourage sales on your Amazon storefront, having an established sort of Shopify website that can at least put up a banner upon new visitors for email and SMS capture, is kind of one of the core strategies to starting to build up that mailing list. Um,
what do you
so
think about running things? I mean, I'm not against it. I am I am for obviously selling through multiple channels, your website and Amazon, but I'm not for the idea of launching from day one, website and Amazon. But what I have found is some companies launch their website without any e-commerce capability on
yep,
it, but they run things like draws, monthly draws, and competitions and prizes and things like that, all offering value and ultimately pointing people to make their purchase on Amazon. But in the meantime, they're building that following, that mailing list by all different kinds of activities without really having anything going on their own website. What do you think about that approach?
yeah, I think it's an interesting approach. The the drawback is like, I mean, the obvious benefit to it is you can do all that and you don't have to worry about, you don't even have to talk to a 3PL, right? You don't ever have to talk to Deliverr or Botstrot or any of the other 50 3PLs because you're just basically building a customer data and intent engine. And look, it's not unique to just small businesses too. Like a lot of the biggest brands in the world, a lot of Procter and Gamble's brands, for example, have websites that get hundreds of thousands or millions of hits where you can't buy a single product, right? They're just content education engines for the brands. They host a ton of great blog content. And then they often have a where to buy widget via PriceSpider or one of these other tech companies that sends you to buy or any of their other retail partners. The secondary benefit of that, by the way, is most of these brands are in the Amazon Associates program. So they're actually getting affiliate traffic on their own sales. And I'm sure you've seen this in the space, right? If you have a direct-to-consumer site, you send traffic to your Amazon storefront, you can become a partner in Amazon Associates and collect, depending on the category, 3 to 8% back on that sale, which is pretty exciting. So I am all for that. I think the interesting change, though, in terms of why I think it is possible to start a direct consumer light operation earlier than it was 3 or 4 years ago is, several years ago it was a large investment. Even though Shopify and other tools existed, if you wanted to start a somewhat legitimate direct consumer operation, even 4 years ago, you'd have to pay for Shopify. You weren't going to use a Shopify theme out of the box. You'd have to pay a developer for some amount of custom code. You would have to get locked into a fairly annoying situation with a third-party logistics provider. And all in, you are probably going to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get things off the ground. And that's before you even learned any of the growth tools like Facebook or Instagram ads or Google or conversion rate optimization, et cetera. The difference in the market now, and one of the reasons e-commerce is getting more commoditized and more difficult in some ways, is the whole operation is cheaper. There are Shopify themes out of the box for $300 that look incredible. There are outsourced services, and I can recommend a number of them to folks if they're interested, that for $4,000 or $5,000 will basically kind of establish sort of a growth marketing infrastructure light for a seller. And then there are some new age kind of 3PLs that are very, very nimble in their minimum order quantities, and are reasonably cost effective, even if you're shipping a very small number of units compared to 3 to 5 years ago. So starting a direct consumer website that can fulfill, whereas it might have been a mid 5-figure investment, bare minimum, just some years back, there are folks doing it quite cheaply now. And given sort of the importance of having that storefront in addition to an Amazon brand, I think more of the kind of Amazon brands that do well will at least have a Shopify presence that can fulfill from day one. The one exception I would say to this is folks that are selling in the more wellness kind of categories where the product is really like solving a problem. It's like problem solution brand, like, I don't know, like I have scars and I need sort of a scar tape or a scar gel. Those kind of companies might do okay with just very content-rich experiences. But in general, just given how much the cost of running a direct consumer operation has gone down, even though the cost of ads has gone way up, I think we're going to see more folks that have both an Amazon and a Shopify business, again, within months of inception.
Yeah. I mean, the churn is incredible.